What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hustle. Yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right, got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gym. Back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero. You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, there's going to be some information that's going to help you win, keep you informed, or keep you entertained. So with that being said, you know how we get down over here on this channel. We talk about the new scams, the new methods, the new bank scams, new bank methods, the dark world, the dark web, everything that's been going on because due to the new generation, due to the evolution of the world and technology, there has been new scams, new methods, new glitches, new lows, new everything going on in the world. And the world is really mixed up right now. It's a lot of new people getting into the dark world, and a lot of people that are getting into the dark world are young adults, kids, and it's like the world is getting younger and younger with the things that's being done from the NBA is getting younger. The NFL is getting younger. Fraudsters and scammers are getting younger. Everything is getting younger. So with everything getting younger and technology getting more advanced, there are things that are popping up in the dark world and the dark web. Now, due to ever since COVID-19, scams and fraud have been up 600 to 800% because it was put on the forefront for people to see that this world is a way where a lot of people can make money different ways, fraudulently, without having to pay it back, without having to sell drugs, without having to sell their body, and you can do it from a computer, from your home, by yourself, without being in being noticed. So that's why a lot of people started to migrate towards the scam, fraudulent world because it's less of a headache, less of a people think it's less of a risk. They don't have to be outside and risking their body and driving around and risking their life all day, right? So people got the PPP loans, made got hundreds of millions of dollars with that fraudulently. People seeing other people getting millions of dollars with fraudulent businesses that didn't exist, all different type of things. And we also seen people get arrested, and we also seen people get away with it. So ever since COVID-19, this whole fraud and scam world has been basically a new dimension, a new world. Ever since COVID-19, people see people flashing money like this on social media, making videos, making posts, et cetera, talking about this method, this load, this glitch, that glitch, you name it. Now, the thing is, in this world, because so many people are not knowledgeable of what's really going on in this world, it's really hard for people who don't know what's going on in this world to really get the real information about this world. And then there's people who are semi in this world who have semi information that understands that there are a lot of people that want to be in this world, so they take advantage of it. So when people hear about different type of glitches and loads and methods and et cetera, people have to understand these things stem from somewhere. And where do they stem from? Technology. Technology is the number one based world method, whatever you want to call it, in the fraud world. Most people who hear or know or think they know about scams and fraud, the most thing they know about is some type of check fraud or some type of credit card fraud. That's the main scams or fraudulent ways that most people think they know about this world. which is not true. Most scams, most fraud comes from technology. Technology runs the world. Everything that we do on a daily basis revolves and surrounds around technology, from sending cash apps, Venmo, Zelles, PayPal's, ACH transfers, which is bank account wires, you name it. We use technology all day, from apps, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, streaming apps, text messaging, face call. All this is able to be possible due to technology. And the technology in the tech world is evolving as the world evolves. People got to understand, technology allowed AI to be created, which is artificial intelligence. Technology allowed robots to be created that can take over human jobs. That's what technology does. People are not seeing and paying attention how powerful technology is. Without technology, we're not FaceTiming, text messaging. We're not using Wi-Fi is one of the main sources of technology. When we go put our money into the banks, that money is no longer a physical object. It's now a digital number. Technology. So people got to understand, all every application that we use was built on technology. When we upgrade new software on our iPhones to to keep it up to date, that's technology. People are not understanding technology, right? So the real dark world, the real fraud world is based around technology, not check fraud and credit card fraud. That's real time fraud that people do because they don't know about technology. Now, how is technology so important? Well, you got to think about it. Technology allows people from different parts of the world to be able to communicate on devices, gaming devices. You got PlayStation 5s and Xboxes where people game and talk to people in different parts of the world in real time due to technology. Now, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of tech fraud, stems from the game system, from kids playing on these Roblox and Minecraft games and GTA servers and Call of Duty servers and 2K game, all these different games, and communicating with different people in different parts of the world. And there are people from ages from children to grown adults communicating with each other. And there are a lot of messed up minded people in the world. And we all know there are adults that play games with kids on these systems, right? And when you play these games, you have to basically have certain VC and coins and points and different things to be able to get different skins and different things while you're playing these games, right? And those things cost. And kids, they don't have jobs, they don't have money, they have to get the money from their parents. And parents aren't going to keep giving kids or buying kids, spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on these points, on these different things for them to play. So at some point in time, they start to figure out and want to learn how to do it on their own, get it on their own. And that's human nature. That's just how the mind works. When you know nobody's going to get something for you that you want, you're going to figure out how you can get it on your own, point blank, period. And then you got these adults basically directing these kids on different fraudulent ways on how to obtain these things. You got people that saying go steal your parents' credit card or debit card, go get the information off the card, because we all know debit cards are now no longer embossed. The information is right on the back of the card, so you don't even have to take the card no more physically anymore. You can get information from for a card and utilize it. And these adults are basically instructing these kids on these games to do that. And then you have the dark world, the dark web. You got chat GPT sites on the ClearNet that will create anything for you, right? There are also fraudulent chat GPT sites on the dark web. And due to it being these sites, more sites are popping up. And people gotta understand, sites on the dark web are very hidden, right? Dark websites are not www dot whatever dot com. No, they are long encrypted addresses with dot onion at the end. You can't promote them on the clear net. So it's hard for people to find real sites. So people always ask me, what's the site for this? What's the site? What's the site? Da, da, da. Understanding the dark web was how you honestly understand how to find real sites. And due to technology, there are more sites starting to pop up on the dark web that will allow different tasks. So there's a site on the dark web, and like I said, the sites on the dark web are encrypted. They're not www whatever. No, it's a site on the dark web was basically a dark web GPT site called Dig AI, and this site is a GPT site that will create anything for you. And by it create anything for the scammers and the fraudsters, there are there is a surge of new methods that are coming out, and people are starting to put out there in the world or on the dark world or whatever. On these platforms, you can literally type create me a new method for CC swiping, create me a method for ATM jackpot, create me a malware for blah blah blah, create me a glitch for blah 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 app. You can these this is what's happening on these GPT sites. And by this GPT site being intelligent enough to find different ways, just like how other people find different ways how to perform some type of task, the GPT sites is doing the exact same thing. The GPT sites are taking it a whole different level and creating and coding different programs, different apps, different methods for people to create and perform different tasks. And like I said, most of the sites on the dark web is not, oh, you just find a site, you just go on it and use it. No, most sites you have to have an invite, know somebody, or pay for a membership to get on there, because just because it's the dark web doesn't mean you're just free to go do whatever on there. No, there are dark web police officers, and that's another reason why sites on the dark web are not just easy accessible or anything like that, because there are cyber police that are on the dark web all day, every day, looking for criminals that are looking for sites and trying to figure out who runs this site. Just like how they took down the Silk Road and all these different other major sites that was once up. There are cyber police officers. So that's why it's hard for people to find sites, because they're just not promoted like that. You just can't, like, a lot of people don't even know how to go on the dark web. And people don't really know that getting on the dark web is basically you getting certain configurations and then just going to a site. Now you're on the dark web. Once you go on that site, you're on the dark web. Once you go on this forum, you're on the dark web. And that's what people don't understand. Like, they think it's just a place where you go and it's like, now you're on the dark web. What do you know? So it's just all about having the proper knowledge about things, because if you don't have a proper knowledge about these things, you can be very vulnerable. Because if you just go on the dark web trying to look and search things and you don't have the proper credentials, VPNs, or whatever, you can get compromised. And it's people on the dark web that look for people like that to compromise and get their computer IPs, things like that. Because we all know once a hacker or compromiser gets that information, they can get into things. They can see your computer webcam. They can see what's going on. They can see your passwords, your wallets, and all that. They can take control over your computer. Because a lot of people don't know, Windows has a program or app that you can give permission to somebody else to control your computer. A lot of people don't know that, but the hackers and scammers does. And by your computer having that, that allows them to make it easier for them to take over your computer. So this generation of social media, of content, of games being played, of kids wanting to make money and do different things is making this dark world a whole nother place. It's almost like the younger generation is taking over the dark world. There are younger hackers and compromisers and scammers, because people got to understand, Hacking is hacking. Ethical hacking is ethical hacking. It's up to that person to decide if they what they want to do with that information that they have. It's all the same information. So it could be somebody that utilizes information to help different companies make their security database stronger. And that somebody might utilize this information to do a lot of black hat things. It's all the same information. And once people understand that people are the ones who create this information, create these codes, create these applications, and create technology, then people will understand that anything is possible with technology. Databases, signals, waves, HTTPs, DNSs, SOCKs, proxies, all these VPNs, all these different things that people have no clue what they mean. But once they figure out what they mean and they learn what they mean, it'll become a new ball game because they now understand how powerful that information is. Anything can be tracked. When y'all buy our iPhones, you look on the back of that iPhone box and they got all them different numbers and codes. That's those are the codes people use to track phones and stuff like that. Buy computers and stuff. Those codes and information is how you're being tracked. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi might be one of the a hacker's best friend because a lot of everybody uses Wi-Fi. Everybody wants free Wi-Fi, and by people wanting free Wi-Fi and being so great, it gets real when it comes to technology, and people are not understanding technology is what runs the world, and we created technology. So if you can, if technology is allowing this app to send and receive and store money on this application or on this balance, what else do you think it can do? And then you got these GPT sites on the dark world, on the dark web, these fraud GPT sites that's creating different tags to do different things. What do you think is really going on in this world due to technology? We got to start waking up. We got to start paying attention because at the end of the day, at the end of the road, there's always a victim with this. It might be somebody, it might be a bank, it might be both. So, with that being said, like I tell you guys all the time, make sure you guys are getting your Norton Lifeline to monitor all your personal, social media, and financial accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. And then monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there being sold. So, make sure you guys are getting your Norton Lifeline. Make sure you guys are um freezing all three of your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience, so nobody can get anything in your name. No loans, credit cards, lines of credit, no cars, no apartments, no nothing, unless you unfreeze it. And make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit card numbers every so often. It's 4 quarters in a year. We utilize and use the same cards for years and years, and we tap, swipe, insert, all that. And every time we do that, information is going on a new database. And there's always a database compromise, leak, or hack. So with that being said, make sure you guys are getting new debit card and credit card card information cards with new information so that old information will no longer be valid. And if it does appear in a compromised leak or hack, it won't be valid and it won't work. All right. So make sure you guys are staying more safe, staying more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on in this real crazy world that we all are living in because these things are real, these things are happening, and people don't pay attention to it, and people don't and think they're excluded until it happens to them. Don't be that person. Always be cautious, always be aware, and always stay safe. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping this sauce. And y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing them for 600. Yes, 600 Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know you payment ready. And we will go from there. All right. No screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions. And please do not yell me. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 250. Ask me and get help with anything that y'all want to get help with in the classroom setting. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the crypto tour in person limited gyms, 3,500. Make sure y'all book your seat on the month-long mentorship, 750. Come with a free 1K load. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram, the Potato App, and Discord. Me and Internet Networking World. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on my YouTube channels, my TikToks, IG, Snapchats, Discord, Kick. Gotta update a couple of these. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives, and make sure y'all get in where y'all fit in with these lows. All right, 125 and up. Send them screenshots and y'all ready. Let's get to work. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I will see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.